So you're thinking about moving to Florida. Well, in this video, I'm going to go over the top reasons of why you may want to move to Florida, and I'm going to go over a few of the reasons why you may not want to move to Florida. If you're new to the channel, my name is Alex Haigh, and this is a show called Haigh Today. It's all things moving to South Florida. If you're thinking about moving to South Florida, you might want to subscribe to the channel or like any of the content. Also, please leave us a comment that you would like to know about something that has to do with moving to Florida, and we'll be sure to answer it for you. All right, well, we're going to get into the top 10 reasons of why we think it's a good reason to move to Florida. Biggest reason people move to Florida, the weather. It is absolutely incredible down here, especially when you get a little bit south of the frost line. It is about 76 degrees as an aggregate. We sometimes get a little bit cold, but cold for us can sometimes be 50 or 60. So if you're thinking about moving to Florida and you're thinking weather, this is the place for you. I highly recommend if you're thinking about moving for weather, this is the spot to be. The beaches are absolutely incredible. Now, why are the beaches incredible? Because we have the Gulf Stream, which runs just along the east coast of Florida. You got that warm water coming up from the Caribbean. So the beaches, the water is absolutely beautiful. I was just down at the beach the other day with Bruiser, walking him at the beach. I put my feet in the water. I've been here for a little while, so I'm a little acclimated. The water was tepid, it was warm, it was almost like a bathtub. So the beaches, some of them are white sand, some of them are some darker sand, but you can always find a beach that's going to suit you in Florida. So if you love beaches, this is the place for you. So another pro moving to Florida, if you love cultural diversity, this is the place for you. What do we mean about cultural diversity? Different kinds of food, different kinds of music, different kinds of festivals that have to do with different kinds of cultures. We have a huge Latin culture. We have a huge Puerto Rican culture, Guatemala, we have Indian, Chinese, we got a Creole population. So if you like cultural diversity, this is definitely the place for you. And if you're curious if there is a culture that you might want to kind of dive into, please reach out to one of the members of our team. We're happy to give you some recommendations of a great restaurant or a festival that might suit that want that you have to explore some of that cultural diversity. Now, another pro of moving to Florida is the entertainment. Now, we are full of entertainment and things that you can do. Remember those theme parks that we have up north? We have Disney, we have Epcot, we have Universal, all those kind of things up there in Tampa. We have Busch Gardens. Outdoor activities are available to you too. So Florida is the place to be as far as entertainment is concerned. So the number 6 pro on our list is sports teams. Oh my Lord, Florida has all kinds of sports teams. Down in Miami, you got the Heat for basketball. You have the Marlins for baseball, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You have the Lightning, you have the Tampa Bay Rays. There are all kinds of sports teams, hockey, basketball. Also, we have all kinds of activities like golf, fishing. We have an equestrian center down in Wellington. If you're into riding horses, maybe you're a mountain biker, drop us a comment below. We'd love to hear about what your favorite sports team is. So the number 7 pro of moving to Florida are the job opportunities. Now, the Florida is really a burgeoning economy. So we have agriculture, we have aviation, we have technology, we have a huge blockchain community that's down here now. And we'd love to hear from you and talk to you about how we might be able to help you navigate the job environment that is in Florida. Florida has no state income tax. Yeah, I said no state income tax. So a lot of you out there, that could be 10 to 15% that you're paying to your state for that state income tax. Florida has no state income tax. We do have a small sales tax, which offsets a lot of the projects for schools and hospitals and that kind of thing. But no state income tax makes Florida a great reason to move here for a job. Now, the number 9 pro is one of my personal favorites. It's real estate. We have an absolutely booming real estate market down here. So if you're thinking about moving to Florida, you might want to get here a little bit earlier as this boom continues to happen. I think it's inevitable that this real estate market is going to continue to go up. So that's another great pro reason of why you might be thinking about moving to Florida. Now, the number 10 pro of moving to Florida, really nice people. I gotta tell you, people here are just a little bit warmer. They're a little bit more thoughtful because you know what? We live in paradise. There's a little bit of a Margaritaville feeling here. People kind of feel like they're on vacation. So just typically they're in a little bit of a better mood. Also, you're not scraping that ice off of the windshield. So I always, when I wake up and go outside, even if I'm feeling a little icky, it's beautiful weather. The people are nice. That's another great reason of moving to Florida. Now, we just went over the pros of moving to Florida. Now, let's dig into a few of the cons. There definitely are some cons about moving to Florida. Now, I would say the top con, and this is the reason why a lot of people reach out and say, I don't know about this, and it's hurricanes. Hurricanes are a thing in the tropics. So no matter what, I don't care whether you're in North Carolina, whether you're in New Orleans, whether you're in Texas, hurricanes are part of the picture. Now, we have been going through hurricanes as far as Florida has been in existence, and people have been figuring out ways of mitigating the issues that come with hurricanes. I do want you to know that they happen. I've been living here for 20 years. We actually had the eye of 4 hurricanes come over the town that I live in here in Stuart. A lot of people think, wow, hurricane blows everything away. We certainly lost some roofs, we lost some trees, we had some flooding, absolutely. But at the end of the day, Florida is very resilient. It's been going through hurricanes for centuries, and now with all the new hurricane codes that are out there, your houses are pretty protected, but I do want you to know we do have hurricanes in Florida. Now, the second con is high cost of living. Now, it depends on where you are. Florida is a very large state. So you're up in the middle of the state in Ocala and those kind of areas, the cost of living is going to be lower. But as you move further south, being Miami, you're going to have the highest cost of living, then Fort Lauderdale, then West Palm. As you work your way a little bit more north, the cost of living does go down. So I do want you to know it depends on where you're going to move. That's why you want to reach out, comment below, hey, an area is, how's the cost of living there? We'll let you know. So leave a comment below about the area that you're thinking about moving to Florida, and we'd love to let you know about what our perspective is on that cost of living in that area. So the number 3 con to moving to Florida, traffic. As you move more south, the congestion is going to get higher. So Miami has the highest congestion, then kind of Fort Lauderdale, then West Palm. As you move north, it kind of opens up and you don't get as much of that traffic. But you could come to an area where we live, for instance, here in Stuart, and around 5 o'clock on a Friday, it's going to be a little more congested. Is it going to be like Miami? No. But it depends on you. If it's really important to you not to have traffic, we want to put you in the right area that doesn't have that high traffic if that's something you're adverse to. Now, number 4 con is actually going to go into a pro. We have beautiful beaches. Yes, we have beautiful beaches. Sometimes they can be a little bit crowded. Also into that traffic and congestion comment I made before, as you move further south, the beaches are going to get more crowded. As you move further north, there's going to be less crowded beaches. Now, number 5 con, if you do not like heat and humidity, Florida is probably not for you. Now, that's not all year round. All year round, there is a higher humidity content for sure, because we're in the tropics, remember. Now, if heat and humidity is something you absolutely can't stand, you might want to think about being a snowbird, because it's really hot between, say, May and August. That's where it kind of gets the hottest and most humid. Now, me, I've acclimated to it over the years. I'm originally from New Hampshire. I didn't know anything about heat and humidity. When I came to Florida, it was kind of like the Jerry Seinfeld punch in the face. And, you know, it was a little offsetting at first, but over time, my body acclimated, and now I can go out in the heat with this kind of suit on, and I won't sweat quite as much as some that might have a t-shirt on. So you will acclimate to the heat over time, but if it's something where you're like, hey, this is an absolute non-starter, the heat and humidity here, if you can't stand that, it might not be for you. Now, the number 6 con, which is pretty much anywhere you go in the world, but the crime rate, it's going to depend again on the area that you're in. Now, if you want to know about the respective crime rates in a certain area, you don't want to ask people. You can always go to a site called citystats.com, and that will tell you what the respective crime rates are in the area that you're thinking about moving to. So if crime is an issue and you don't want any crime, you might want to move to Montana and out in the country where there's very, very little crime. Or you move out to the desert in the middle of nowhere. You basically are going to have to not be around people if you don't want any crime. The more people you have, just the more crime there's going to be. So please check out citystats.com, or you can reach out to us and we'll talk to you about the area that we think might be good for you if you're at all concerned about the crime rate. All right, so the number 7 con of moving to Florida, insects and reptiles. We got to say, remember, we're in the tropics here. So there's going to be a lot more critters running around. So there's spraying that happens that keeps those insect populations down. But I do want you to know we have more insects and we have more reptiles than any place else probably in the United States. So if those kind of things aren't going to work for you, you might want to consider not moving to Florida. Now, the number 8 con about moving to Florida is the availability of specific jobs in specific fields. I know that in the pro section, I said there's lots of job opportunities, and there are. There are a lot of job opportunities, but it depends on the field that you're in. So please comment below about the field that you're in. We'd love to check out and see if there are any opportunities here for you to explore. So job, field is what we're talking about here, not necessarily job opportunities. Now, the number 9 con about moving to Florida is going to be your public transportation. It's not a very robust system. Now, remember, Florida, if you dig down 6 feet, the ocean's going to come in. So we have absolutely no subways. We don't really have a very robust bus system. As you get further down into the metropolitan areas like Miami and Fort Lauderdale, you're going to see a few more buses than that. You're not going to see any trolleys or that kind of thing like you do in San Francisco or some of the other areas. But the public transportation is not as robust. So if you have some kind of disability or you can't drive or you're relying on someone else to drive you somewhere, and sometimes you might have to take public transportation, remember, Florida might not be the place for you. Now, before we get to the number 10 con, if you found any of this content valuable, please comment below or share it with someone that you know that might find it valuable. And don't forget, of course, to like and subscribe if you do like this content and it's been valuable to you. So let's get into number 10. So the number 10 con of moving to South Florida, I'm going to say extreme weather. You can say, Alex, you already said hurricanes. Yeah, we have hurricanes. Well, we also can have some pretty torrential rain down here. And that happens. Also, remember the extreme element of heat and humidity. That's an extreme condition. So if you're adverse to something like that, you might not want to move to Florida. So those are the top 10 pros and cons that I think might be helpful for you making your decision about moving to Florida. That's my personal opinion. I can't imagine a better place to live in the world than Florida. Now, don't take my word for it. Maybe you want to tour one of these areas. So the extreme of non-congestion, that would be Vero Beach. Check out this video here or check out this video on Jupiter. We'd love to hear from you on what's important to you and why you might be thinking about moving to Florida. We'd love to have a conversation with you. Reach out to us. Until next time, my name is Alex Haigh with Haigh today, and we'll see you later.